Peace and blessings, family. I am Astarius Miraculi, and this is day 30 of 100 days of healing. On yesterday, I shared the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, oponopono, and shared that I would give you some information, on it today through further research and also some responses from people. Um, there's different ways in which this prayer has been presented, some changes that have occurred, particularly in the order. All of the phrases were the same, but from what I heard, the order was a little bit different than certain other orders. And I think that's the way of things. Sometimes things get a little bit shifted and changed. Um, I presented it in the way that it was sent to me, and also just for further insight, there's a website, graceandlightness.com. And what I'm going to read to you, some of the information around it comes from that website. That's graceandlightness.com. So here's some of what they have to say about the whole Oponopono Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. People who struggle with the concept of forgiveness, both for themselves and for others, often find comfort in a deeply healing, age-old practice that comes from Hawaii. The beautiful Hawaiian teaching for forgiveness is called Ho'oponopono, and it's lovely. This ancient Hawaiian practice of forgiveness functions as both a communication concept for reconciliation and a tool for restoring self-love and balance. In practice, it works sort of like a mantra for self-love. And even more surprisingly, it's super simple. The word Ho'oponopono roughly translates to cause things to move back in balance or to make things right. It's a very Zen concept. In native Hawaiian language, pono means balance in the sense of life. When things are in balance, nothing is off, so to speak. Accordingly, chanting this prayer over and over is a powerful way to cleanse the body of guilt, shame, haunting memories, ill will, or bad feelings that keep the mind fixated on negative thoughts. As a forgiveness practice, it's also deeply resonant as it tends to penetrate our inner monologue over time. To try it out for yourself, follow along with the practice below. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. To cleanse yourself of bad feelings, chant the following mantra repeatedly while sitting with your eyes closed as a kind of meditation. With regular practice, reciting those 4 simple phrases helps develop self-love and self-esteem at the times when we need it most. In this way, it's both a lullaby to the self and a guaranteed, insightful way to approach forgiving other people. Part of the reason why this traditional Hawaiian forgiveness prayer is so powerful is that it first requires you to acknowledge that wrong was done by saying you're sorry. Having other people acknowledge our feelings is a universal need. In Ho'oponopono, you must first acknowledge that wrongdoing exists, which is a way of acknowledging these feelings. Only then will it be possible to find it in your heart to forgive someone else or yourself. In the final step, you acknowledge love both for yourself and others. Most people, when attempting to forgive either others or themselves, make the mistake of thinking that forgiveness equals total absolution or an erasing of the wrongdoing. This is ultimately futile because it ignores hurt feelings, which inevitably bubble back up later if they're not addressed. On the contrary, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Instead, by first acknowledging the wrongdoing, ho'oponopono allows all parties to sit with and hold space for these feelings. First, we acknowledge that the problem exists. Then, when we are ready, we make the conscious choice to move on. True forgiveness, moreover, requires both attention and intention. When done correctly, it is one of the most powerful, freeing sensations there is, like an invisible weight has been lifted. Historically, the Ho'oponopono prayer was a kind of shared reconciliation mantra for divided families, family also known as Ohana. So that's some of the information there. I have this great love and resonance for the principle of forgiveness in that I've had an intimate relationship with it. I've been able to forgive, pretty easily, even when, horrible things have come my way. And I found that it's a great gift, really, unto myself. And just to share with you a couple lines of a poem that I wrote called Trust and Forgiveness. Trust and forgiveness, the sacred twins. Trust brought me to this earth, to heaven. Forgiveness ascends. The rage of resentment blocks the lessons I must learn, and the darkest of relationships then constantly return. The weapon of distrust breathe the horrors of my pain, and distrustful ones will come to me until I trust again. Forgiveness is the master key, opening the cage to set me free from distrust, misery, pain, and strife, from those I feel have wrecked my life. If I don't forgive the past, I can't trust the present, and I then attract a future untrustworthy and unpleasant. So I have been taught from within by the Most High that there's this powerful synergy between trust and forgiveness, that they are likened to twins, but the forgiveness is having to be the firstborn twin. If I am able to forgive, then I can find my way to trust. And if I'm truly trusting in a good way, in a genuine way, then I'll become magnetic to attracting those who are trustworthy. Sometimes it's not the easiest thing to trust this or that person, but I have found that if I take my trust onto the altar of the Most High, and I say, Beloved Most High, I trust you to make me magnetic to attracting those who are trustworthy, then it works out for me anyway, a lot easier that way. So tomorrow we'll go even deeper into this principle of forgiveness. I love you so much. Good fortune in all that you are, all that you do, all that you be.